Our drivers will fall into line as our pace car ducks out at turn number 3. They will head for the acceleration line located between turn number 3 and turn number 4, where you see our officials standing. They must cross that line sequentially. And when they do, you'll see the green flag drop, and we're off and running. And off the bat, Anderson Jr. will lead him down the backstretch as Stearns and Lane fight for position, second and third. Third is Lane, second is Stearns. In the fourth position, a good battle between Ramsdale and Graham as they come by to complete lap number 1. Anderson Jr. begins to run away now. Lane slips into the second spot. Then it's Stearns. Ramsdale currently in fourth. Silva, Mays, Graham with some problems. The 93 car now off the pace. And Graham will head for the pit area. Out of turn 4 comes your leader, Pete Anderson Jr. It's Anderson Jr., Lane, Stearns, Ramsdale, Silva, and Mays. Rounding out the field, 49 is Horton. Anderson Jr. crosses and completes lap number 4. Our top 4 will transfer. 5 laps in the book. Anderson Jr. is your leader, followed by Lane, Stearns, Ramsdale, Silva, and Mays. Then Horton. And there is your white flag for the leader, Anderson Jr. 1 lap to go. Anderson Jr. running away with this qualifying heat for the Pure Stocks. And your winner is Pete Anderson Jr. Second, Doug Lane. Third, Joe Stearns. Fourth, Adam Ramsdale. Rounding out the field, Silva, Mays, and Horton. Transferring the first 4 spots, Anderson Jr., Lane, Stearns, and Ramsdale. All right, so there's the official warning. They don't get it this time. They're going to the back. It's a completely different view from back there. And here we go. Had some problems right off the bat with Schaefer Jr. and Hahn. And they clear that up and head down the backstretch now. Schaefer Jr., your leader. Hahn and Dahl battle it up for second and third. They swap a little paint there in the middle. Dahl loses control, then regains. And Hahn will slip into the second spot. Kind of a bump and go tactic there. Down the backstretch now, single file are our top 3. Then it's the 13 of all, Soyseth and Bird. And so Schaefer Jr. completes lap number 2 as your leader. Single file, they go through 1 and 2. Hahn right on his tail. Three in the books. Schaefer Jr. still your leader. And that 67 car, Johnny Birdie, is loose. Problems between he and All. And Bird will spin around to the infield. And All will continue. Now Bird's got that car back under his own power. A lot of dust and dirt there down the backstretch. Here comes the leaders. And it's Schaefer Jr. through the clouds. Followed by Hahn, then Dahl. That's your top 3. Fourth, the distant fourth, is Soyseth. And 5 are in the book. Still your leader, Schaefer Jr., then Hahn, then Dahl. Schaefer Jr. being challenged now by Hahn. Hahn trying to duck in, find some room, make a move. Ducks down low there. Schaefer Jr. won't let him by. And so 2 laps to go now. Remember, top 4 drivers transfer. Now Hahn begins to make a move down the backstretch. On the inside, he's got the inside on Schaefer Jr. They're neck and neck between 3 and 4. Now Hahn grabs the lead by a nose as they come out to take the white flag. They swap paint right in front of the grandstand. Schaefer Jr. gives a push. And that just pushes Hahn further now into turn 3. Here comes Schaefer Jr. Hahn ducks down to keep the lead and take the checkered flag. Your unofficial winner, Kerry Hahn of Ripon. All right, folks, here he comes, your unofficial winner as he comes by the grandstand. Let's make some noise here. Small in numbers, but let's make some noise. Congratulations, Kerry Hahn, number 92. Second, Gary Schaefer Jr. in the 58 car. The third spot going to Orville Dahl. And the final transfer spot going to the 52 of Mike Soyset of Collegeville. Set to drop the green on 8 laps. And here we go. And Medina will keep the lead as they head down the backstretch, but Bolin will not give up. And now Bolin just by a nose as they enter turn number 3 gets by Medina. Medina on the low side and Bolin on the high side. Here they come out of turn 4 now. And Bolin will sneak in there and take the lead. It's Bolin, Medina, Lovelace, McCall, C.W. Davis, Ayers, Clark, and Harper. So it's Bolin on the point, Medina in the middle. Here they are 3 wide in turn number 4. And they double up into turn number 1. It's Medina on the inside. McCall. Medina is spun in turn 2. And they get by. McCall now second. Then C.W. Davis. Then Jeff Lovelace. That's your top 4. Remember, top 4 will transfer. And Medina limping back to the pits as Bolin completes lap number 5 now. 5 laps in the books. And that's Tracy Bolin of Valley Springs beginning to run away now with this third qualifying heat for the Pure Stocks. Remember, top 4 drivers will transfer. Those drivers are Tracy Bolin, Ron McCall, C.W. Davis, Jeff Lovelace, Brian Clark, a distant 5th, will need to gain some ground in order to make the top 4. And there is your white flag. 1 lap to go now. And there is your unofficial winner, Tracy Bolin of Valley Springs. All right, so we'll try it again. this time to go in the back, maybe. This has got to be it. And it is. We're going green. And as now they head into turn 2 and down the backstretch, Scantlin with the lead. Problems for Schenkel and Medina. They swamp a little pain in 2. Scantlin with the lead. Gabor now in the second spot. Sullivan on the outside third. Then Gabor fourth. Sullivan's car goes wide in turn number 2. And as they come by to complete lap number 2, your leader is Kenai Scantlin. But just by a nose as he crosses the stripe ahead of Gabor. Once again, the 97 is Guy Gabor this evening. Gabor, then Sullivan in the 4th spot, the final transfer spot. Schenkel making a move on that 4th spot. He must get by Sullivan in order to transfer. Now Guy Gabor makes his move in turn number 2. Gabor will take the lead down the backstretch now. And into turn 3, now out of turn 4, it's Gabor, followed by Scantlin, then Gabor. It's a Gabor sandwich. Gabor, Scantlin, Gabor. Now Schenkel takes the 4th spot. The final transfer spot is 4th. Keep your eye on that spot. And we are at the 5-lap mark. Scantlin gives chase, but Gabor holds him off. And now Danny begins to make his move. He'd like to get on the inside of Scantlin. Down the backstretch, he chases. Gabor dropping down low, taking the low groove away from Scantlin. Scantlin goes high. But Scantlin will fight him off and hold on a second. There's 4th spot. That's Aaron Schenkel. 1 lap to go. The white flag is out. And here they come to the stripe. Your winner, number 97, Guy Gabor. And so the finish in the 4th spot, Aaron Schenkel. That's the final transfer spot. The 3rd spot, the 61 car of Danny Gabor. 2nd was the number 65 of Kenai Scantlin. And as he comes by the grandstands, let's give a hand to our unofficial winner, number 61. Excuse me, number 97, Guy Gabor. We'll try it one more time. And here we go. And Chappell zooms to the lead. Borges 2nd. Treadway now in the 3rd spot, followed by Crawford. Remember, 4 laps. Now Treadway begins to make his move on the inside. He ducks down low. Chappell comes by to cross. The leader, lap number 1, is Chappell. Chappell, then it's Borges, who's loose in the back end. And Treadway will try to get by. Can't this time. Crawford goes high. He'll make some contact with Borges in turn number 3. Borges fights him off again. Borges loose in the back end. Crawford trying to get by. Now he's got some room. Crawford down the backstretch trying to get by Borges from Banta, and does now. Borges lets him go by. Crawford 2nd. And the white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Remember, there is only one winner. That's first place. And it's Scott Chappell, number 15.
Hello race fans and welcome to Alan Yorty Motorsports videos. While Alan Yorty's at the racetrack, he loves to visit Royce's Farms and Deli. Custom catering, barbecuing, look at this, tri-tip ribs, chicken and more. Check them out, they're so good. They do all those special events for you, they'll do anything. 886-5620. Royce's Farms, every Saturday night at Stockton 99 Speedway. Look at this menu, tri-tip, kielbasa, barbecue chicken, double cheeseburger, single cheeseburger, homemade chili, and much more. So don't forget race fans, that's Royce's Barbecue, up top, here at Stockton 99 Speedway. Royce's Barbecue.
John. And here we go! And Stacy will jump out to the lead, but Kirby pulls back now. Kirby will lead him down the backstretch. Stacy second, Philpott third by a nose. Now Welch making a move to the outside. They punch up between 3 and 4. Here they come by the grandstand. And Kirby with a lead by a nose. Into turn number 2. Problems for Kirby. He bounces off the Stacy car. And Welch says, good afternoon. Stacy spins in 2. It's a two-man race. Now it's the two young drivers, Kirby and Welch. And we may see a checkered yellow. And we do. Well, here comes Jason Philpott. He'll take second in our Subway Sandwich Trophy Dash. And our winner is still back on the backstretch. Jason Kirby with some problems there after the finish. But congratulations to Kirby and the entire Wendt Construction crew. And here we go. And so out of turn number 1, your leader, Tracy Bowen. He'll lead him down the backstretch. Hahn second, Gabor third, then Anderson Jr. Anderson Jr. now on the outside, Gabor inside as they head into turn number 3. Gabor diving down low, the patented Gabor move. And Bowen with the faster car at this point. He'll lead him lap number 2. Hahn loose down the backstretch. Anderson Jr. now pushing. Gabor diving down low. Here's that Gabor move. He's loose in the back end. Anderson Jr. makes his move to the outside, trying to get by Hahn. Hahn in the 92 is second. Anderson Jr. now trying for that spot. He'll go high. Hahn is low. And Anderson Jr. gets by him by a nose as they head into turn number 3 now. Anderson Jr. taps Hahn and he keeps control of the car. But Hahn will drop back and lose 2 spots. It's Bowen, Anderson Jr., Gabor, and Hahn. Next time by, we'll see the white flag, and Anderson Jr. will have 1 lap to catch Bowen. And, well, and so your unofficial winner is the number 11 car, Tracy Bowen of Valley Springs. Be sure and pick up the Stockton 99 souvenir program being sold by Boy Scout Troop number 65 with proceeds going to the Boy Scouts. Jam-packed with all kinds of great information. Pick one up now. And here they go! And David jumps out to the lead now. He'll take them down the backstretch, battling tightly with number 42, Vince Little. David with the lead now, pulling ahead. Little dropping down low. Out of turn 4 they come, and David is your leader. Mike David, your leader from Modesto. Second spot is number 42. That's Vince Little. Third is Joe Harrell in the 15 truck. And the fourth spot is the 25 of John Campbell. Lap number 2 in the books. And David is your leader. David chased by the 42 of Little. And there's your white flag. 1 lap to go for David. Can he hold him off? David now out of turn number 2. He'll head down the backstretch safely. Into turn 3 they come. David running away with us now. And in the injury helpline truck number 2, it's Mike David. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me introduce you to our trophy girl. This evening's trophy girl is Jennifer Engel. Jennifer, wave to the crowd. There she is. Give her a nice hand. And first of all, she is congratulating our first winner in our Subway Sandwich Trophy Dash. He drives out of Modesto in the number 2 injury helpline spec truck. How about a nice hand for Mike David, ladies and gentlemen? Mike David. He's trying to hold his tummy in for the picture. All right, congratulations once again to Mike David. Nice driving, Mike. Good job. Hey, man. Next up, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to a gentleman who I believe this is his first Subway Sandwich Trophy Dash win. His sponsors, Bolin Builders and Top Quality Insulation. He drives out of Valley Springs. Let's give him a real nice hand. How about a nice hand for Tracy Bolin? Hey, Nate, could you give me a little less on this? It's feedback. It's the second one. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Great. That sounds good. Check. 1, 2. Good. Thanks. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, driving out of Lodi, he drives the number 15 Street Stock. His sponsors are Transmissions by Hal, Gary Signs, PTC Inc., Randy's Race Palace, and Scott Chappell Auto Transport. How about a nice hand for number 15, Scott Chappell? Drove the wheels off that thing. Whoa. Good job, Scott.
One more. Car is being repaired, so we got one more.
Light repairs. Tire right side. Mount.
Done? Done?
No, we're fixing it. That's why there's only 3 of us out here.
Okay, and finally, ladies and gentlemen, he won the Subway Sandwich Trophy Dash for the Grand Am Division. His sponsors, the Sign Shop, Estasi Tile, Transmissions by Hal, Limos Construction, Valley Balancing, Land Grow Inc., Hertz Rental Equipment. You saw the number 90A car, the Wendt construction car. How about a nice hand for Jason Kirby, ladies and gentlemen. Young Jason Kirby.
Hey, Russ, I'm taking over.
Oh. Jason, do you have a girlfriend? Many. I want to talk to you, Jason, when you're done getting your photo there. Jason. In fact, both you guys. Okay, so you won the trophy dance. What happened to the car?
Well, we were so rushed to get out from qualifying, we had so many problems. We left 2 spark plug wires off. I ran that with 6 cylinders in one. Just made contact with Steve Stacy, I guess, popped the tire, and lucky to even finish.
And some suspension problems?
Yeah, we broke the rear end mount on the right side.
And can you fix it?
They're working on it right now.
You guys got the best crew here?
Oh, yeah.
All right, there you go. Nice hand once again for Jason Kirby. Congratulations to all our winners. Thank you very much. Say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Got the need for speed? Then what you need is Randy's Race Palace, home of champion chassis. Custom roll cages, fabrication, complete rolling chassis, complete race cars. Parts? Yes, Randy has parts for all your needs. Racing, auto, you name it, Randy can get it. Racing Fuel, your Unical 76 race fuel dealer for that competitive edge, in conjunction with Alan Yorty Motorsports. So try Randy's Race Palace, 4283 North Wilson Way in Stockton, 209-546-0899. That's Randy's Race Palace, showing you the way to the checkered flag.
Blue 13 car is Albert Silva of Denair. On the outside, the green and yellow 13 is driven by Jeff All. The number 43 car is driven by Brian Clark. The 10J is driven by Amy Sullivan. The 39 is driven by Chris Mays of Stockton. The 67 car driven by Johnny Bird of Stockton. The 26 car is driven by Gary Ayers. Number 58 this evening is driven by, 54 is driven by Donna Treadway of Stockton. The 49 is Julie Horton. The number 60 is driven by Stacy Medina. The 05 is Richard Harper. The 6 is John Medina. And then rounding out the field is the 93 of Mike Graham. Mike Graham driving out of Manteca as well. So our pace car now will head up and off, and our drivers will head for the acceleration line. And we will transfer the top 4 drivers in our B main for the pure stock, so this should be quite a race. Here they are at the acceleration line now. And we drop the green. And Silva will lead them down the backstretch now as Clark and All give chase. Here they come out of turn 4 to complete lap number 1. And now Silva beginning to run away with it. Clark in the second spot. Some distance between the two. Then it's All and Mays. Now Mays in the 4th spot. That's the final transfer spot. Watch the 4th place. And Silva down the backstretch into turn number 3 now. Clark gives chase. Then it's All. Then Mays. Then Bird. Sullivan. Ayers. Horton. Treadway. Graham. Harper. Medina. Not much changing up front. A good battle between Bird and Sullivan. That's for the 5th and 6th spot. They come single file around the racetrack now. Mays begins to move, transfer shifts. And here comes Bird now. Bird starting to gain some ground. He'll have to make up quite a distance in order to make that 4th transfer spot. Now Medina gets by Harper in the 05. 6 laps in the book. Silva still your leader from Denaire. Then it's Clark. All and Mays. Mays sees an opening and takes it. And Mays will now take the 3rd spot. All drops back to 4th. Then it's Johnny Bird in 5th. Amy Sullivan 6th. There comes your leader completing lap number 9. Silva still your leader down the backstretch. He comes. Clark beginning to gain some ground now. Clark starts to make a move. A problem for Graham between 3 and 4. He's on the infield grass. And Silva completes lap number 10. 10 down. And now Clark finds himself in the 2nd spot behind Silva. Then it's Mays. Then a distant 4th is Ayers. 11 down. 11 laps complete. Still your leader, Silva. There's Ayers and Horton. Treadway, Medina. Harper comes by. Graham now crosses. And now Clark beginning to make his move. Brian Clark beginning to make a move. Down the backstretch, he'll chase Silva. Silva's a little sloppy down the backstretch now. Clark looking for a move to the inside. Clark makes the move on the inside, lap number 12. Here he goes by the grandstand, and Silva now takes the lead back and ducks on the inside. Clark won't give up. Down the backstretch he comes now. Denaire drops down low to block. Clark tries to drop down low as well. 14 laps in the books. And now Mays begins to make his move. He's close in 3rd. A distant 4th is the 13 of Ayers. Jeff All. 15 laps down now. And the lead is closed upon by Brian Clark and Chris Mays. They battle it out. It's a 3-car race now. Clark trying to drop down low. Clark trying to gain some ground. Can't do it lap 16. Clark picks up a bit of ground. Lap 17 in the books. Mays begins to move outside of Clark, but can't do it on lap 17. And Clark gives Silva a bump in turn number 3. 18 in the books now. Silva still your leader, then Clark, then Mays. There's Jeff All in the 13 green and yellow. Medina goes by. Bird, Sullivan, Ayers, Horton, Medina. And as they come by now, they'll take the white flag for 1 lap to go for Albert Silva of Denaire. He's got the lead. Brian Clark gives chase. Now down the backstretch they come. Clark, can he close the gap? Clark will dive down low in turn number 3 to try to take Silva. And here they come out of turn number 4. It's going to be Silva. And they battle back to the checkered flag. Ayers ducks in front of Horton. And Harper will round out the field. Folks, I want you to give them a big hand as they come by here, completing 20 laps of Pure Stock Division. Your unofficial winner, Albert Silva of Denair, with the second spot going to Brian Clark in the 43. The third spot going to young Chris Mays in the 39 car. And the fourth and final transfer spot going to the 13J car of Jeff All of Lodi. Congratulations to all of our drivers and their pit crews. For the Street Stock Division, time to meet our drivers and their sponsors. First up, he was the 97 Street Stock Rookie of the Year. His sponsors, Cal's Engine and Machine, Burkett's Pool Plastering, Legal Photocopy Service, Al Clark Attorney at Law, Thrift Plumbing, Michael Taylor Chiropractic. I want you to put your hands together. I want to hear you for these drivers, folks. Number 56, Greg Albiani. Next up, he was 10th in points in 98 and 97's most improved driver. His sponsors, Cherokee Radiator and Muffler, Stockton Pump, City Automotive, Ideal Auto Sales, Cal Fence, with special thanks to Larry Larson. From Stockton, number 82, Ted Hayflick. He's a rookie, driving out of Modesto. His sponsors, K-Pax Insurance of Modesto. Number 17 is Scott Griffith. Next up, driving out of Lockford, his sponsors, Floorman, Napa of Lockford, Brackett's Garage, K&K Tire and Wheel, Foothill Pizza, Vintage Car and Truck, Muffler Man, Central Cal Auto, Electric, TNN Paint and Body, Charterway Tow, Stockton Auto Glass. He's got Tickle Me Elmo on board. A nice hand for number 7, Jeremy Hammond. His sponsors, Delta Truck Center, Vanderpool Enterprises, Valley Material Transport, Reeve Trucking, Gillies Trucking, Report Radiator, Jim Artman Trucking, Cal Netcracker, Dr. Ludkin, Baldwin Filter, Snap-on Tools, Bill Elliott's Auto Detailing, Finish Line Products. Number 6, out of Stockton, Ed Cullum. Next up, driving out of Lodi, he's sponsored by Brannan Tire, Meeks Building Center, GNS Design, Lodi Avenue Liquors, Motors by BJ McDonald, Kevin Wall, thanks to Dave Davis, whose birthday it is today. Heads by Steve and Galswick Racing. He's a lady killer, ladies. The young one is 57, Mike Garcia. Next up, your current points leader and the 1998 champ. His sponsors, Valamet Inc., Praxair, Aramark, B&R Engines, Performance Backhoe, Valley Rubber and Gasket, Stockton Industrial Off-Road Enterprises, Mother Lode Equipment, and Driveline Service. A nice hand for Kerry Treadway. Next up, driving out of Lodi in the 84 Chevy Monte Carlo, 98 Rookie of the Year, 5th in points in 98. His sponsors, Transmission by Howe, Gary Signs, PTC Inc., Randy's Race Palace. Special thanks to Dave Bender, the Canoodle Crew, and Scott Chappell Auto Transport. He won the Subway Sandwich Trophy Dash for the Street Stock Division. Number 15, Scott Chappell. Driving out of Stockton, he was 3rd in points in 1998. His sponsors, Paz Performance Center, Energy Wise Mechanical, Dave Morara Construction, Hank and Tony's Fencing, and Rebco Tow. It's number 0, the Wild Thing, Jerry Crawford. A gentleman looking for sponsors, driving the number 13 car out of Banta. With him here, there may be no one left in Banta tonight. Number 13 is Matt Borges, Mark Borges. The number 38 car out of Manteca, 9th in points in 98 after missing 8 races. His sponsors, TP Ranch, Grandpa Reba, Manor Ranch Incorporated, Steve Enos General Contracting, Mormon's Water Systems, Hilton's Electric, Annie Mary, Brandon Tire, Accent Carpets, U.S. Food Service, Acampo Ag Service, and Smart and Final Food Distributors. Number 38 is Joe Hilton. And finally on the inside pole for our main event in the Street Stock Division, his sponsors, Weigum and Burnt Ranch, Lodi Backhoe, Ted's Welding, Lodi Battery, Ron Gross Racing Motors, Cherokee Auto Body and Paint, Napa Auto Parts, Lockford, Valley Welding Supply, Don's Muffler, Brake and Lodi, Clint & Sons Race Gas, Auto House of Lockford, Burnt Tree Service, Transmissions by Hal. Special thanks to Wild Bill and Dastardly Dan. Number 1 out of Clements, Johnny Burt. Drivers, start your engines. And so we're set to go green on 25 laps. Our first main event of the evening for the Street Stock Division. And so our drivers head for the acceleration line now on turn 3 and 4. We're ready to go. Green on our first main event of the evening, and he drops the green flag. Here we go. Hilton jumps out to the lead. 25 laps. On our way to 25 laps. Johnny Bird from the inside now. He'll take the lead. They're nose and nose down the backstretch into turn number 3. Johnny Bird, Joe Hilton. They're neck and neck as they come by the grandstand. And now Johnny Byrne will take the lead. Hilton drops off the pace just a bit. And Borges now steps on it. And problems in turn number 3. Chappell avoids and he'll drive on the infield to get around. Bird spins, Hammond stuck, and Crawford comes out of the mix to leader. And so a cut tire for Borges. A cut tire for Burt, the inside pole sitter. And Crawford continues to lead. Lap 2 now. It's the Wild Thing first, then Hilton second. Treadway in the 3rd spot, and Chappell a distant 4th. Then it's Cullum, Albiani, Griffith, Garcia, Hayflick, and Hammond. Single file, they come down the backstretch. And trouble for the Hammond number 7 car. He makes it unscheduled. And the battle is up front between the front 3 cars. Here comes Treadway on Hilton. Treadway's a little loose between 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Crawford leads, then Hilton, then it's Treadway. Then a distant 4th is Chappell, then Cullum, Albiani, Griffith, Garcia, and Hayflick. By the grandstands comes Crawford, completing lap number 6. And now Treadway's got an inside move on Hilton for second. Down the backstretch, he'll take the 2nd spot. 3rd is Hilton. Your leader, Crawford, completes lap number 8. Chappell now beginning to gain some ground, driving the wheels off the 15 car. Hammond trying to gain some ground so as not to be lapped by our leaders as they are approaching rapidly. Treadway gives Crawford a little push in 2. Now into 3. Treadway dives down low. Treadway on the inside groove. And Crawford fights him off. Johnny Burt back out. He's got that tire change, and he'll be starting from the back of the pack. Here come the leaders. And now Crawford will have to encounter some traffic, and Burt gets out of the way. Well, does he or doesn't he? Hammond's done. He heads back unscheduled. Crawford still your leader, then Treadway. And then Hilton in the third spot, Chapel fourth. Lap number 13 is now history. Now Treadway making his move, trying to get to the inside of Crawford. All problems with the two. They spin between 1 and 2, and can Albiani get through? Hilton will get through. Chapel will get through. And Chapel will take the lead. And so trouble's up front for Crawford and Treadway. They'll exchange insurance companies, and as they get tangled up in the chute between 1 and 2, 15 cars, Scott Chapel zoomed on by. Hilton took the second spot. That's the 38 car. The third spot, unofficially, is the 13 of Borges. $16 in the books, 9 to go, 25 lap main event for the street stock division. And we drop the green. And Hilton is right on the tail of Chapel as they head down the backstretch. Albiani rejoins the field. Chapel leads them down the back. Then it's 38 Hilton. The third spot is the 6 car of Ed Cullum. And the fourth spot is the 57 of Mike Garcia. Looks from the looks of things that this is going to be a 2-car shootout now between Hilton and Chapel. Chapel beginning to lap the field again. He goes by the 17 of Griffith. And so will Hilton. And with 22 laps in the books, it's Chapel's race to win. Keep your eyes on the 15 car as it comes by the stripe. The next time it'll take the white flag with 1 lap to go. And there it is. Now Chapel will have to fight off Hilton, and Hilton will do anything he can to catch him. Down the backstretch they come. Chapel will dive to the inside to get by Albiani, and he will come by to win.
How come you weren't down here? I didn't know there he is. Leave me down here by myself like that.
Communication needs in your future? Well, what you need is Ligorio Communications, your AT&T factory representative. Also, your Motorola Communications dealer. Cell phones, two-way radios, race car headsets, racing radios, and more. Whatever your communication needs are, Ligorio is there to help. For all my communication needs, Alan Yorty Motorsports uses the clear voice, the clear choice. Ligorio Communications. Call today, 1-800-446-2290, 2771 East French Camp Road in Manteca. That's Ligorio Communications. Call today.
Division. Let's introduce our drivers and their sponsors from left to right. First up, driving out of Stockton, his sponsors, B&R Automotive, Maxwell Motor Supply, NorCal Battery, Johnny's Welding, and Kiger Powder Coating. He's 16-year-old Sean Wenzel. Next up, driving out of Stockton, sponsors, Stock Car Fabrication, Accurate Tractor Service, and Flocini Janitorial. A nice hand for the B0B car of Bobby Truhl. Next up, driving out of Modesto, his sponsors include New Deal Markets, Randy's Race Palace, Hubbard, Business Service Printing. A nice hand for number 28, Vernon Jensen. Folks, I can't hear you, and I want to hear you. Next up, driving out of Series, his sponsors, Custom Sounds of Tracy, Cox Brothers Tires of Tracy, RU Extreme Wake Surf and Skate, with special thanks to Jim Kraft and family. A nice hand for number 99, James Burgess. Much better. Next up, driving out of Stockton, his sponsors and the owner of the car, Randy's Race Palace. Sponsors, Alan Yorty Motorsports, BJL Racing, RB Construction, Finish Line Awards, Transmissions by Hal and Chuck's Hamburgers. Number 87 is John Unger. Next up, driving out of Stockton, his sponsors, Coors Light and A through Z Wood Turning. It's the 28X car of Aaron Young. Next up, his sponsors, Alpine Helicopters. Special thanks to Jim Palin Roofing, Atlas Disposal, and Transmissions by Hal. Driving out of Lodi, number 29, Dwayne Appadale. Next up, driving out of Series, sponsors, Inside Lines, Modesto Transmission, Pacific Metro Electric. Number 88 is Tom Burkett. Next up, driving out of Stockton, his sponsors, Nesco, B&R Racing Motors. Number 98 is Gino Contesoto. Next up, out of Benicia, his sponsors, Calouette Fabrications, Inc. and Ace Tires of Martinez. Number 25, Barry Calouette. Out of Modesto, his sponsors, Rocky and Irene Medina at Medina Wood Products, Wilcox Electric, Process Specialties, American West Publishing, and 5 Minute Car Wash. Out of Modesto, number 75X is Eddie Wilcox. Also wanted to wish a very special happy birthday to a gentleman not here this evening, celebrating a 50th birthday. Happy birthday, Jack Stone. Okay, surprised you there. Next up, out of Lodi, 5th in points in 98 is sponsors Valley Industries, Machine Service and Parts, and Royce's Barbecue is number 3, Robert Caniddle. Out of Orangevale, his sponsors, Welch Motorsports, number 81, Shane Welch. Next up, sponsors, Alco Trailer, Frank's Radio Service, Napa Tenaya Auto and Truck Parts, Lindell's Auto Body, Perry Automotive and the Tire Shop. Out of Groveland, 17A, is Paul Hendry. Next up, driving out of North Highlands. His sponsors, Big O Tires, Hammer Lane, Muffler Tech Hammer Lane, Welch Motorsports, Transmissions by Howe, Walmer's Machine and the Sign Shop. It's his first time in this car this evening. He's the crew chief for Dan Dabbs. A nice hand for George Black. Out of Stockton, sponsored Nesco, B&R Racing Motors, CarQuest of Manteca, Sears Automotive, number 97, is Danny Conasoto. Out of Sacramento, sponsors Movado Body Shop, Wins, Pro Farms, Cooks Racing Pigs of Galton, Joe Ortega. He's the young one, Racing Jason Philpott. His sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, Tognotti's Auto World, Welch Motorsports, Ligorio Communications, Transmissions by Howe, and Walmer's Machine. Get this. He won 14 main events last year. He's won 10 main events this year. In 2 years at the Stockton 99 Speedway, he has 24 wins. He is going for the regional championship. Number 1A is Mark Welch. His sponsors, Hertz Rental Equipment, Landgrow Inc., Valley Balancing, Limos Construction, RDCO, Transmissions by Howe, at Stasi Tile, The Sign Shop. You're looking at the number 90A Wendt construction car of Jason Kirby. Next up, out of Tracy, his sponsors, Craig Rodman's Victory Chassis Parts Inc. and Mike's Body Shop, number 97S, is Scott Winters. Out of Stockton, the 97 champion, 3rd in points in 98. His sponsors, Stacy Plastering, Stockton Wheel Service, The Sign Shop, Stock Car Fabrications, Off-Road Enterprises, number 91, Steve Stacy. And finally, driving out of Stockton, his sponsors, Contractors Equipment Service, Delta Plating, Alan Yodi Motorsports, A1 Transmissions of Brentwood, and Kramer's Garage. Number 4A, Jason Beltrama. Drivers, start them up!